So the first thing you do when you're weathering your tracks is that you've got to have the right weathering products, and today I'll be using a bit of a mixture, a bit of a concoction here, but I'll be mainly using these aka interactive pigments, and this is dark steel. I'll put that on last though. Then there's track rust, again by aka, and also right at the minute the enamel track wash, but I haven't decided whether, because I've just noticed this is enamel, and I shall be using acrylic paints. So the first off that you do is that you start off with a bit of NATO black, and that gives it a bit of depth, and you've got to get it into every nook and cranny of the track. So I'm just checking that there's enough paint in it, and you give it a little shake. Yeah. My apologies for the noise in the background, but the football's on today, and it's our soccer for you American viewers out there, and it's on Sky at the minute. So but yeah, you take your airbrush, and I'll be using a Ultra Harden Steenbeck. I'll be using the Harden Steenbeck Ultra, and what you do is take your brush, and I'm using it at maybe about between 3 and 4 psi, and you gently just start spraying like that, making sure that it gets into every nook and cranny. You don't want to see any of the baseline left. You turn it over, and you do it again. And I'll be stopping and starting this video, guys, because it takes about 10-15 minutes for the paint to dry. And that's the paint run out already. Thank you, Tamiya. Tamiya paints are really good for spraying, but they don't give you a lot, and you don't really need to wash them down either, because they're just right from right out the bottle. So making sure that all the track is covered in black paint. Yeah, and that there's nothing left. See, there's bits inside here, so you just and do the other one. Yep, there's bits still left here. So you turn it round, you keep it for about 6 inches away from where you're spraying, and it should be fine. You don't need to go any further than that, just about 6 inches. And that is you. Just give it another coat. I don't like doing it too thick first time round, but that's it done anyway. And now on to the next one. And what you do is you use a bit of red brown. Now I'm using Mr. Hobby red brown, which is, if I can see the number for you, H47, and that's Mr. Hobby. And what you do with the red brown is, once the black's dry, you give it a light spray over the track, and that way it will give it a bit of shadow. Not too much as I did the black, but just a little bit of red brown, a mist to give it a shadow. And then I'll go on and give it a bit of a gloss varnish, and then I'll start to use the pigments. So I'm going to stop filming just now because it'll take about 15 minutes for the track to dry, and there's no point in me sitting waffling on. So the next time you'll hear me talking, it will be about putting the red brown on. So what you do with the red brown is, once the black's dry, you just gently spray it on. You don't need a lot of red brown, you just need a mist coloured coating. So that some of the black's showing through. And this is a good great undertone colour, and it goes well with the black. So that's about it. That's all you need with the red brown. And then once that dries, you give it a coat of clear varnish. So once again guys, I'm going to pause this just to let the paint dry, okay? I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to use Humbrow's acrylic thinners for the next stage. Pour some in your airbrush, and this is just to lock the paint in so that the pigments will have something flat to lie on. And that's that. Now this may take a bit longer to dry than the actual paint, so I would leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour, and then come back to it and do the next stage, which is the pigment stage. So until then, this is Ron Mac 95 signing off, and I'll see you soon. Well, next up guys is I've lost my pigments. I don't know what I've done. Oh, there they are. The weathering set from Revell, which you get in this packet here, and you get 6 different colours that are basically rust. You also get dirt as well. And it's not a bad little set. It cost me something like £16 out of vmodels.co.uk. And I'm going to use some mud green, okay, and that's what it looks like if you can see it. That's mud green, and what you do is you just take a brush, very sturdy brush. I'm using one of my dry brushing brushes that I haven't used, and then just dab it in and then brush it in gently. Well, not gently, but give it a good fair dusting, leaving some of the track bare so that you can see the other colours coming through. And that's just about what you need. It's very unprofessional of me guys having the TV on in the background, so please forgive me, but I'm listening to the Manchester United Everton football game, and then I'll go and watch a wee bit of American football, bit of NFL, and that'll do me for the evening. I think it's the New England Patriots tonight, in the early kick-off, although when I say early kick-off, UK time it's going to be about 7:30 by the time it kicks off. But yeah, I like a bit of American football, so I'll watch that. So that's the dust put on, guys, and shake off the excess, and that is what it should look like once it's on. And then what you do is you give it another coating of the old Humbro acrylic thinner, which I'm going to put in my airbrush. And what this does is it just locks it in so that it's nice, and it also wettens it, so it does two jobs at once. And that's that. And that's about it, guys. And once again you wait half an hour for the thing to dry, and then you'll rub on some metallic just gently over the struts so that it looks like it's shining through. And that's now you've got basically two nicely weathered tracks. See, that's what it looks like with the metallic through it. You can just see it shining through, and that's the one without, so you can see a difference. And that's exactly what you're looking for, is this one here. And that will be it done, and that will be the job finished. So that's it for the meantime. So again, this is Ron Mac signing off, and I'll be back soon, so take care.